this video was originally going to be about syndicates as an antag and talking about why I like them, what I don't like about them. And I was going to do that with every other antagonist. Let me know if you want to see that. But instead, I found a PR, a pull request, that is, I think, probably the weirdest and most, like, it's basically upending everything. Oh, and real quick, because people keep, like, Nazis keep showing up in my comment section, trans jump scare. Anyway, the PR I'm talking about is, well, it removes common, or, well, nerfs it. Let me read it out to you. This PR removes the ability to speak on the common channel through your headset. You need to use the intercom to scream for help. Now, I'm firstly going to go over the reasons they stated in the PR, and then go over a counter, and then talk about, you know, why I think other reasons, why I think this would be just a bad change. So, why/balance? The removal of green comms changes a lot. Correct. I'm going to call it common from here on out. Encourages in-person roleplay. No more screaming for help and security because you broke into science and made yourself a PKA. Now you have to actually incite a riot naturally. This will not fix in-person roleplay. All that will happen is that people will still use green comms with intercoms. This will have almost no effect. And in fact, everything I'm saying in this video, if I'm wrong, you can come back here and make fun of me in the comment section of this video, because I would love to be wrong about this. If this does everything it's supposed to, it makes the game better, I'm all for it. I just don't think it will. Anyways, this will not encourage in-person roleplay. This will have people standing around at comms and using intercoms. Why? Because intercoms are either everywhere or nowhere. Either common will not be used at all because they straight up will not have the ability to, They will straight up not have the ability to use comms at all because of shitty, intercom placement. Or it will have people crowding around intercoms or using green comms just like normal comms. This won't change anything. It'll just also make every intercom on and random chatter for people talking in a hallway show up on green comms or common. Again, this will just make common even less readable. And I don't think this will fix or help anything. Reason number 2, antags more accessible. Let me read it. Antagonists get more leeway, correct? No longer will your sneaky stealth roleplay be shut down instantly because of a titer. You have room for error and can more easily hide your acts. Gives more room to do stealth, be one with the shadows. Couple issues. 1. Syndicates already have an item to shut down the radio jammer. Thieves also have access to this too. There are ways for them to counter common comms, they're just not used because the item costs way too goddamn much. Lower the price of the item. And if you're still having an issue like that, skill issue. Okay, but really though, this won't actually give antagonists more leeway, and it only really affects titers, because let me give you a breakdown of what's going to happen. Someone is going to see someone do something antagonistic. If they're a titer, they'll just run to an intercom, probably get murdered by the antag, whatever, wahoo. Every other role has a comm type. Every other role has a comm type. And all this will do is force captains to be paying attention to every comm at once, more often than not, because that person is going to say into, I don't know, service comms, and then scream it there, then they communicate security. Well, this does add another layer of communication. This essentially makes the whole, like, PR counterable by just one guy constantly paying attention to comms. Which, to be frank, this is already an issue where NTRs, internal affairs agents, and BSOs, caps and hops included, will just act as communication relays between departments. Which isn't a bad thing, but it doesn't really do anything for what could easily just be screaming into common. Reporter has a purpose. Reporter is the main source of information. This should encourage more actual reporter roleplay and not just be a glorified title with an announcement board. Spare requires copyright. Okay, Reporter A isn't on most maps. Well, it's on most maps now, but it's not on every map because it's not a map requirement. So, issue A. Issue B, how do I put this in a way that makes sense? Reporter already sees enough action And all this will do is create a reporter meta, which will hurt roleplay. Essentially, instead of a reporter talking about whatever the fuck they feel like, they'll be forced to exclusively talk about things that are happening around the station that are important to the crew. I don't know. I feel like this would actually give Reporter a much better purpose. I just don't think it's worth it for all the other damages it does. It does give Reporter a fair bit of purpose, though. It's not... You have a point there. We love service workers. Service should see more usage because the bar is generally where you go to talk to people. Also, a good place to go pick up a fight. Okay. Bar 1 is always the place people talk to each other anyways. That's completely fine. But also, this fails to acknowledge the reality that most fucking, like, service areas are gigantically wide. Like, if you're thinking about Box, the entire northern part of the right wing of Box is just service. The library, the chapel, all these other things are not connected. Yeah. Like, how do I put this? Essentially, you're trying to force people to roleplay in one place, in a place that is already roleplayed in pretty heavily. You're not encouraging roleplay, you're just encouraging people to go to bar, which doesn't need encouragement. Bar is already the most bombed place for antagonists looking to do as many kills as possible. There's no real point in forcing more people to go to bar because they can't use comment. Mates are scary. Mates are actually scary now. Amazing, right? Be careful mates diving. This will have no impact on mates diving. Like, okay, if you run into, like, an antagonist in, fucking mates that tries to kill you, you're just dead. You're just dead. Like, by the time you can type out a message about who's killing you, you're probably just dead to a guy with a knife, a shiv, a toolbox, anything, really. This will have almost no effect on maintenance whatsoever. And also, this will effectively result in the radio jammer being even more useless. In addition, this only hurts passengers because of the aforementioned thing where, guess what? People will just use their department comms. Next thing. Encourages use of alternative communications. Faxing, holopads, and nanochats see very little usage due to green comms just being there. Now you have an actual reason to use them. It's your only way of communication now. This is just flat out not true. Faxing sees use in pretty much every single round to communicate between departments in an official capacity. Heads of staff use this often. Pretty much every central command personnel uses this often. In addition, faxing specifically is a pretty much department-specific thing. It's very rare for there to be a public fax anywhere. Librarian faxes are usually locked behind a door. Same with bar faxes. Same with pretty much every fax. It is rare for a station to have a public fax even. Holopads. Holopads already get tuned out because they're used for two purposes. Some guy's calling a department that they need to use, that they want to talk to, and they just like talk to whoever. It's like, hey, call up NG. We need to see, what if they can do shit. This is a fine use. Holopads are already being used. Issue number 2, holopads get locked out by just literally anyone using the emergency service thing, and as such get tuned out because pretty much all I see with the emergency thing is, oh guys, there's an emergency. In addition, common comms being accessible from intercom will not encourage holopad usage at all. Because why would you use a holopad to make an emergency announcement when you could just use an intercom? NanoChat already sees amazing usage. Like, first of all, if you want to communicate privately or directly with a specific person, it's already used. Again, faxing is used for official business that needs a stamp of approval in an official capacity in a secure way. Already sees usage. Holopads see a way to contact a department in a non-specific way, just being, hey, anyone in this department know how to talk? They function like calling a business, essentially. NanoChat already sees usage to talk to people 1v1. Like, I feel like the justification for the alternative communication thing is just, hey, we're going to force you to use these because we're going to make the way people communicate en masse, the entire crew with each other, annoying. And again, this doesn't actually help. Now, I feel like I've pretty successfully rebutted all of the reasons for this. Let me give you some additional reasons why this sucks. Reason number 1, and I think for once in my life, I have a reason to pull out the new player card. I hate pulling out the new player card. Fucking, you know, the new player card is annoying because why would we make the game less complicated because of new players? New players ask so many questions over common in pretty much every single server. And doing this on Funky will result in Funky being an unnaturally hostile place for new players. Now, true, they could just ask someone else for help, but this only hurts low pop. If, say, an intern is the only one in medical and they have to ask, they're going to be very hard to ask questions because they first have to figure out what the fuck to do and how to use an intercom. Which, let's be clear, intercoms don't look like intercoms on the wall. How do I put this? Their sprite kind of fucking sucks. Like, you cannot tell me an intercom looks like an intercom whatsoever. I feel like the sprite could be changed. But anyway, that's a bit of a mood argument. Anyway, genuinely though, the learning curve will get a lot worse, I think. And I don't think that's worth it for what is apparently very little benefit. Another problem. How do I put this? Rounds are fucking chaotic. Space Station 14 is a chaos simulator. Now, will this make rounds less chaotic? Obviously. That's all. That's all I have to say for that point. It's a small one, but anyway. Anyway, the real point I want to talk about here. Common radio is the emergency usage. The reason common radio exists is for mass communication in emergency situations. For example, nuclear operatives, especially war ops, is nigh impossible now with common comms disabled. Already during war ops, which is a whole crew event, and trust me, I hate using war ops as an example here, but there's essentially no way for the crew to communicate with each other easily. Like, hey, nukies are here, or I just saw a ninja here, which will affect the nuclear operative balancing. I fucking hate I hate using this as an excuse, or as a reason, but it's true. You can't ignore it. And, I don't know, like, I'll be honest, I've been trying to come up with better arguments here, but honestly, I don't really think I have any because it's such a, here's the thing. I am willing to try it. I will keep an open mind. I will try it. I will play the server. I will play the server this is being added to, Funky by the way, and I will see what happens. I will try my damnedest to enjoy myself, to engage with the new mechanics, because, you know, some things that I thought were going to be a terrible change were actually a great change, you know? I thought that pink text for a bit there was going to be a fucking shit change, where you can essentially make your own objectives when playing Thief and Antag, or Cindy. And it turns out, no, people really like it. It's apparently a really good choice. I thought the medtech change was going to be the end all be all of things, but all it really did was be mildly annoying. Not the end of the world. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe this is in fact the greatest fucking change that's ever been made. Maybe it's brilliant. I don't know. I'm just saying it concerns me. And I do really strongly feel that this wasn't properly interrogated for the massive ripple effect it would have. And I've never played Space Station 13, so I can't really speak on Space Station 13, but every single SS14 server I've played on, with the exception of RMC, has a common radio. They have a way for people to easily communicate with each other during any situation. And lie during any situation. Hell, you're taking away the ability for me to lie to people over common radio. I don't like lying. I'm a lying little bitch. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I really think this could use proper interrogation. And if I'm wrong, make fun of me in the comments below. If it turns out it's a great change, make fun of me. With my full permission. Anyway, I'd like to thank my channel members. Blubbergaster, User Face Test, Altars, Kitty Cat, Dorsor, Pleasure Winter 3, Web Sword, Film, Team, Say Through Lappin. If you want to see that video about me reviewing every antagonist, let me know. I would like to make that, and I do plan on it, but you telling me to do it will make me prioritize it over other projects. I do have some more interesting things coming up as well, some more experimental videos, some side content. Also, if you're still watching at this point, let me know if you want to make a video, if you want me to make a video on Deadlock. I'd really like to make a video on Deadlock. Okay, bye.